Hello and welcome to PPC Live The Podcast. I'm your host, Anu, the founder of PPC Live. And if you're used to hearing advice from PPC experts about how to ensure we are keeping up with the ever-changing landscape, don't worry, you are still in the right place. Every week, I'm speaking to a different PPC expert about their biggest F-up and how they've turned things around. So quite a lovely departure from just talking about what PPC experts are saying on our PPC chat, our fantastic PPC chat community. But yeah, this time we're sharing F-ups, mistakes, disappointments, the people who came through for us, the people who were surprisingly helpful and also unhelpful. But yeah, this time we have the fantastic Anthony Higman, who is the CEO of AdSquire. So yeah, a CEO who feels that his career has done a 360, a full circle moment. He started off working in the mailroom of an office, and now he's the CEO of this company, and his office has some fantastic views looking over Philadelphia, and the office where he actually started in the mailroom, the law firm he has started in the mailroom, is like he can see outside of his office window. So look at what hard work and not letting your mistakes holding you back can do. And he's a very great example for this. And he shares two stories about some of the mistakes that he's made early in his career, some recent ones that actually shows us that, mistakes don't hold us back and we should always continue to focus on the bigger picture of our career. So yeah, let's go talk to Anthony. Hello, Anthony. Welcome to PPC Live, the podcast.
Hey, Anna.
So delighted to have Anthony here with us. Anthony is one of those where I have recommended, you might not know this actually, but every time someone is like, oh, I need someone who knows how to do really good paid search for like the legal department or the legal industry, I'm like, Anthony, go to Anthony. He's the man. He knows that he has the team. Because and that's really great. I think even like early in my career, my brain started to think, which industry should I, specialize in? Because I think that's where you can really then have your good stream of customers, because when you know who you service, who your customers should be. So I think you've done that really, really. Was that on purpose or that just happened?
No, actually, just all my experience. I started this whole journey in the mailroom of a law firm. So like I
Okay. Wow.
started working in a mailroom, delivering mail to all the lawyers. And
Right.
then I like worked my way up little by little, like clawed my way out of the mailroom
Sure, of
and
course.
did all of their paid search. And they spent like a ton of money every year.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned, like, I was in charge of, like, all this money all at once, and I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta learn this." And then I just loved it. I, like, had no idea about paid search, and then I was like, "Oh my god, this thing exists?"
Yeah. Yeah. You can get
Yeah,
business for people. Yeah,
yeah, it was
digital.
so great, right.
Okay. And you're never like tempted to be a lawyer specifically? How come advertising
No,
is the direction?
I always wanted to be in advertising, actually, but, like, I didn't even know about Google Ads, and then
Right.
so it's like a weird kind of advertising, like,
Mm.
I always thought I'd work, like, at an ad agency as like a creative kind of side. And then I just like weirdly found Google Ads and it gave me the ability to like be creative and analytical. And it was just like kind of the perfect thing for me. So I was like,
Yeah.
I love this. And
Yeah.
the rest is
Yeah.
history.
Amazing. Well, we've given a little bit of an introduction to Anthony there. You know a little bit about him, but specifically, Anthony is the CEO of the fantastic company AdSquire, and he's an experienced digital marketer with a history of working with legal industry leaders. And he was at the University of Pennsylvania. Is that right? And
Westchester University of Pennsylvania.
Westchester University of Pennsylvania during the decline of print media. Anthony joined a major law firm in the mailroom, as you say, and quickly rising to lead its paid advertising efforts. And he's going to talk to you about some of those efforts, and especially the ones that didn't really go too well, because we're here to talk about F-ups, so thank you very much, Anthony, for being comfortable enough to recount some of those stories.
Yeah.
Fun fact about Anthony, this is a really cool one. He used to be a former private pilot. So that means not just even a commercial pilot for the people with a lot of money.
No, so people confuse it. So private pilot is just like somebody who like it wasn't for commercial airlines or
Yeah.
anything. It's just like the small like single engine planes,
Okay. All right.
like single engine Cessnas. So like I got my pilot's license flying those little tiny planes.
Okay, okay. Is those tiny planes seem scary though? Like why? Like is that why you left? You were literally like your anxiety cannot handle this.
The one I learned was called a Grumman Tiger, and it's
Okay.
literally like smaller than a car. Fits
Wow.
like
Wow.
2 people. It's like really tiny, and like it's like you're like flying a lawnmower basically. So it's like really small. It's like
Oh
the
my
smallest,
god.
tiniest plane. But it was fun. But yeah, they are like a little bit scary.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think that's something my predisposition could handle. I don't even like roller
Yeah.
coasters. That's the kind of person
Yeah,
I am.
yeah,
Like it's like,
you
oh,
would
roller
not
coasters.
like
No.
you would not
Tiny
like
plane.
flight
I'm
school.
good. I'm good. Thank you. Many thanks is definitely owed you for coming on this show. Like maybe like we've had some 2025 when I pivoted into talking about, I was like, let's talk about mistakes. And then, I spoke to a few people and they're like, I know people don't like talking about mistakes. What you did? I was like, we'll see. So yeah, I'm so grateful for the 30 plus people last year who have already shared their fantastic stories. So guys, go and listen to that. But before you do, like you're about to listen to another fantastic story from Anthony. He's been a very gracious guest and our first guest of 2026. So it's very so excited to be back to share more stories from experts in our field. That's the thing. These are the experts who show that mistakes do not mean the end of your career. It might mean the end of a particular job, which we might come to later, but it does not mean the end of your career. And that's the biggest thing. This show is to help us look at the big picture, what's important in the long run. So yeah, enough rambling from me. Anthony, what is the F up you'd like to share with us today?
Yeah, I mean, I have a ton, obviously. Been doing paid search for like 14 plus years. Lots of mistakes, and you're right. It's I don't like to talk about them. I don't think a lot of people do, but it
No.
is like good to put out there so everybody knows because everybody makes mistakes, and it's kind of
Yeah.
like how you grow.
Yeah.
I would say kind of the first one that I want to talk about is basically something that's happened with a couple clients at AdSquire is whenever we start working with somebody, like pretty quickly we establish trust with that client because we do a good job and we start like getting them a ton of relevant leads and they're really happy. And it's weird, like in legal, a lot of them like have been screwed over before by previous agencies who like
Yeah.
promised the world and then like didn't deliver. So when they work with us, they're like super happy. They're like, okay, great. We found somebody who can like actually do this thing that we wanted. And pretty quickly, then they'll like start forwarding me all of these emails that they get. And I'm sure you
Mm.
get them too. It's like there's so many weird scams in
Yeah.
digital marketing. So they'll like forward me these kind of like scam emails and be like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" Or like, "What are like, should we do this?" And I have to like continuously be like, "No, that's a scam. Don't do that."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then
True.
they'll keep doing it and like eventually like one of us kind of like gets tired of hearing it and I'll like let them go do the thing that they want to do
Okay.
and that often like backfires, but I just
Yeah.
get so tired of being like, nope, it's another scam, it's another scam.
Yeah.
So one specific instance of this
Mm.
is that happened. mm, we established trust. He would send me all these emails. Something I like tell people a lot, I don't know if you do this, is like they all get these emails from like just a weird Gmail. And
Yeah.
look, if you're getting a weird Gmail email,
Block it.
9.5 times out of 10, it's a scam. Like there's no company associated. I'll give them like tips on like, hey, these are some things to look out for. But again, then they still continue to send me like those Gmail emails. Anyway, this specific example is we had this client. We did amazing for him. He like bought a new office with like all the business we got him, like bought a building like
Wow.
in Los Angeles. And
Okay.
like we really just like slayed it for this law firm. He wanted to do SEO, and we really don't like provide SEO. We focus on paid search, right? But we can do SEO. So like for a little bit, like, we would do, like, some free SEO work for him,
Okay.
and, like, that really slayed for him, like, he wanted to, like, be number 1 for this, like, weird, like, obscure search term, and we did it, like, really quickly.
Nice.
And so he, like, just kept asking for SEO stuff. We would do a little bit of it, and then, like, then, like, eventually it just got to be, like, too much, and I was like, "Hey, we're not really doing SEO. We really have to focus on, like, on PPC, and, we're, like, not getting paid to do SEO." But he, like, wouldn't let it go. And so, like, then he started, like, looking at SEO agencies and
Sure.
picked this one, and, like, it's not like this was a scam per se, but, like, I just knew that this agency, like, was not like, didn't provide good results. Like, I've
Sure.
heard lots of stories. I knew previous clients that worked there.
Right.
Nobody had a good experience,
Right.
and so he signed up with them for SEO, and
Okay.
then they were like, "Oh, and we also do PPC," and then he left us, and all of his results tanked, and, like,
Mm,
everything went to crap, and he fired them, and, like, now is, like, back in the mix of doing just, like, round robins of awful agencies. So again, like, it backfired in that, like, I should have spoken up when I
right.
knew, like, I knew the agency. I should have been like, "Hey, that's not a great agency. I've worked with these clients that have worked with that agency, and nobody's had
Yeah.
results." But again, it was like I sort of reached my breaking point to
Yeah.
like, being him sending me, like, all these scam emails, and I just, like, let it go, and then we lost
Yeah.
the client. So, again, like, this is one that kinda happens a lot, is, like, all of our clients will send us these kinda scam emails, and
Yeah.
eventually I get tired of sounding like a broken record and saying that they're all scams, and I'll, like, let
Yeah.
them do one of the things, and it
Yeah.
often backfires. So now, like, we do just kinda keep telling them that it's a
Okay.
scam, and again, like, they're not all scams, like, some of them are just, like, in a strategic marketing standpoint, I wouldn't recommend you do this now kind of thing, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Because a lot of
Yeah.
times, like, they'll try something that again, it's not a scam. Like, yesterday, a client got, like, a sales call for, like, a paid podcast thing, right?
Okay.
Like, that's not a scam per se, right? It's not. Like, you can pay to be on podcasts, and, like, that can help you get exposure in certain regards. But what ends up happening is, like, they'll do it, and that sometimes they'll get talked into more and more stuff from that sales
Yeah.
guy, and then
Yeah.
they'll take budget away from PPC, which is, like, the
Sure.
thing that's working
Working for them.
to drive everything else. So again, we try to be that strategic partner where we're like, "Hey, maybe think about doing this a little bit later,"
Yeah.
like, and again, we try to walk that line where I don't wanna say everything's a scam, it's not. It just might not be the right time for you to do this, and we just know too much about, like, how how
Yeah.
everything works here, and, like,
Yeah.
everybody's, like, trying to get their slice of the pie, but again, like, sometimes that can mean it sacrifices the thing that's driving your business, and then that
Yeah.
can really, like, mess up everything, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes me think that maybe it's the kind of conversations, because I think a lot of the things that I've actually spoken to, different experts about who have had clients working in agencies is like, it's not picking up the red flags at the beginning. Like, you don't, at those intro calls, meeting those clients for the first time as you're onboarding a new client, you know, the communication of what you'll allow to happen, or what in our industry is like. I don't necessarily think there's enough education that is given to a client when onboarding, of like, these are the things you be prepared for. These are, PPC, let's say, for example, is not, and a place of instant results. Yes, you can see your ads quite quickly, but it doesn't mean your instant results. And then some clients get annoyed with that and think that that's bad, and then that's why they're going to leave, and then they end up realizing
Yeah,
all agencies are the same. Do you
right.
feel that this could be avoided, or at least doused a little bit, by mentioning these kind of the education kind of stuff and onboarding process, going, hey,
It's a great question. I don't actually. So I think that, like,
okay,
again, everybody is, like, guarded when they start an agency relationship,
yeah,
right? Like, again, because like there is this kind of weird stigma about like agencies and everything's a scam, and it's weird because a lot of them are, which is
Yeah.
awful
Yeah.
about about digital marketing. So
Yeah.
everybody's guarded in the beginning, like they don't want to really even listen to you. Like
Yeah.
they're taking a shot, right? They're like, all right, I'm giving this another go. So again, like me mentioning that like right from jump, I don't think like they're even really listening to
No.
all of it,
No.
right? They're saying, "Okay, let me give this one more try and see if it works." And then again, like it's pretty consistent in how this happens
Yeah.
is like after the first month when they get these results and they're month 1 or month 2 when they're starting to like see these results
Mm.
and like they're talking to us and asking questions, then they start forwarding us the emails
Right.
that are like, "Hey, should we do this?" So I think like that trust is established through providing the results and through
Right.
like communicating with them in the
Yeah.
beginning. But like if I did it day 1, I think it would go in one ear and out the other. Like I think
Yeah.
you have to show them and then like talk to them and show them that like the industry, everything that's happening and like
Yeah.
that you're an expert. And then they go, okay, let me throw these weird things at this guy that I'm curious about.
Right.
And then I'll be like, scam, scam, scam. Like,
Sure. 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 Absolutely. So, like, obviously, you build those trust with these clients, and then they kind of now trust you to take over the whole, like, okay, confirm to me that these are scam. They no longer dissuade you. Are there some people who you feel like you have proven yourself, but they still are kind of like one foot out of the door in terms of like wanting to trust these scam emails, kind of thing?
yeah, yes, yeah.
Mm,
So again, and this is like always the challenge is like people want things, you know what I mean? So like
yeah.
they want to try different stuff with their marketing, and I'm never against that, right?
Sure. Yeah.
It's just like how you roll it out, right?
Yeah.
And again, like we've struggled with this too as an agency is like people want SEO and they want creative video production and they want all these things. And it's like, do you as an agency like start to develop those
Yeah.
as parts of your business or do you focus on the one thing that you're really good at? So I've had mistakes there too because I don't know, like I feel like focus on the one thing you're really good at is the
Yeah.
answer,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's a serious struggle because I'm in legal, right? Like it's super competitive industry
Oh,
and
wow.
there's a ton of agencies that are offering like the full thing. Like we do SEO, we do social, we do
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
do PPC, right? And here's the thing, like we're always one kind of piece of this puzzle. Like we're the paid search side,
Yeah.
but then we're working with like 2 other agencies most times, right?
Okay.
And guess what those other agencies are trying to do for like the entirety of our relationship is they're trying to get the paid search side.
Pay search. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like kind of exhausting in some
Yeah.
regards because like you're always kind of like
Mm,
proving yourself and like fighting against these agencies that are like always trying to get the ad account and like saying that they can do it better. And like, again, most times it's fine because we've established trust and we've
yeah.
showed them that like we can provide the results, but it doesn't stop the other agencies from like still trying to get the ad account
And at the
or
best.
from all of these other scams trying to come in and like
Yeah.
get a piece of the pie. So it's hard like protecting clients, I guess is what I would say.
Right. Yeah. So you're protecting clients, but you're also trying to protect your business.
Yeah.
And does that just make your job a bit harder in terms of like you need to be proving yourself to be better than this other agency that might have the PPC skill sets?
It does. It does. It makes it much harder. And again, it like makes you question, hey, should we do SEO and social so that like we can have all pieces of the pie? But it just gets too messy. Like there's so much
Yeah.
involved in each one of these things. And like
Yeah.
it's hard to build out like pieces of a business. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and like get those clients to like when it's such a competitive industry.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we really underestimate how much there is to a paid search campaign. Like I write about it with Search Engine Land every week. There's a new thing of like, you can do this, that you can do that, you can add this little bit, you can this new button allows you to see something in YouTube now and PMax.
It's wild. Yeah. Me and you were always on those crazy things. Map ads, by the way, right?
Right, my fans. That's another big one that came at end of last year, even or something like that. Map ads. That was funny. That was fun. Oh my God. Another tangent to the story that I'd like us to take. And yeah, we talked a little bit about this, about how we want to look at the big picture, but sometimes some mistakes lead to the end of a job, and that puts us in a very scary position. Because yeah, can you talk to that as to your experience with that?
This is a super interesting one. It was probably like 10 years ago. I got a job at a advertising agency that did car dealerships.
Okay.
And I was a PPC account manager. And the PPC department was like pretty big. They had like 100 PPC team members. But they had started as like an ad agency. So like they started like traditional, basically, like TV commercials.
Okay.
And then like added on the PPC department and SEO and like when digital came out. So I was like really excited to start the job, and I got in there and I quickly realized like nobody had any idea what they were doing at all. And again, it's like super big agency, like really, really big agency. The paid search director was like a paid social person, and I got 20 accounts to manage.
Wow.
And I audited them, and I was just like, "Oh my God," like, I was like, my mind was blown at how incredibly awful they were.
Yeah.
And basically what they were doing was like, everybody had 20 accounts, and like, I think there was like a high degree of turnover in like PPC managers, and then it would just be the next person came in and did a couple bid adjustments and wrote some fluffy reports, and it was just kind of like business as usual. Anyway, I noticed all these things wrong, like fundamentally wise, like nobody knew the fundamentals of PPC. And so I wrote up like audit notes on all 20 of my accounts. And I was like, hey, look, like everything is wrong here with these accounts. Like, this is what you have to do to fix them. And they were like, oh, okay, great. But you can't fix them because, these have been like accounts that have been with us for 10 years. And so like you have to kind of just leave them, and like maybe we can fix them over time.
Yeah.
Right. And I just couldn't do it. So I fixed them all.
God, cowboy move. Cowboy just like, we're doing it.
And immediately, like they started producing like gangbusters. So then all of the clients that like were my accounts started emailing me. This one like enormous agency, or this one like enormous car dealer down here,
brand,
wanted to set up a meeting and come in and meet me, right? And all these people were sending me emails like, oh my God, like digital is through the roof. And then they were like, we're so happy and excited, but like why, right? And so like that was the F up. Was then I quickly was let go because like they didn't understand any fundamentals about PPC or how it worked. So like when I started getting all those like positive emails and like the guy wanted to come in and meet, they were like trying to figure out what I was doing, and they couldn't, like they didn't understand it. And then they were like, hey, write up a thing for like the guy that's coming in for that meeting. And I wrote up like, a 4-page document, and I was like this, and they didn't understand like what I was talking about. And so right before I was supposed to meet with the guy, I was like, it definitely stung. But again, like I learned a lesson, which is like, you do have to balance those things. Like if you're working for a company, I should have maybe listened, but I like me personally, like my morals and ethics, like let me.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's like a bad thing necessarily. And again, it did lead to like at the next job I was at, like in the interview there, I was like, hey, look, I'm not a cog in the machine.
No.
You want somebody to write fluffy reports and sit back and not do anything. I'm not that guy. I'm always going to like tell what's wrong, and I'm going to fix it because it's just like who I am. So again, it led to good things, but like it definitely was an F up, and I maybe should have like balanced the business there versus getting results for my clients, but it's just kind of it's not the way that I think about it. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
I was like, these are my clients. I'm gonna get them amazing
Get them
results.
thinking, yeah. And like the way I see this point of view, I think it's very interesting that you're in position. It's almost like that whole, everybody has an opinion as to how to raise a child until you become a parent.
Right.
Then, because I imagine you probably had loads of different views until, and then when you started at Squire, you're like, actually, yeah, now looking back at that story, you probably don't want one of your team members just going cowboy, like I'm just gonna, push everything in this
True.
direction.
Yeah.
You'd rather there to be a little bit more communication so
Yep.
that everything works for both parties. What I'm curious about is that when they were like, because they can't just send you an email going, "Today's your last day. You're fired." What did they give you as a reason to why they were letting you
Yeah, it
go?
was so funny. So like they called me in and they said it was like my reports, but it wasn't like it was because of this thing. But it was funny because like they contradicted themselves like several times. Like a week before, they were like, "Hey, your reports were really great," and like then they were like, "Oh, it was your reports." So like I could have done something I didn't. Like I'm not like a litigious
Mm,
person, so I kind of just let it go. Again, it did teach me lessons. Like the one that you just said was like super important. Is another thing that I learned there was like it can't be that everybody does their own thing, and that's how it was run. Like, you had your 20 accounts, but there wasn't, like, any consistency in how, like, accounts were managed, like, across the organization.
yeah,
So, like, every account manager did something different, basically, right?
yeah,
And then these accounts just kinda kept getting past everybody. So,
yeah,
again, like, then again, all F ups definitely lead to reflection and, like, for you to, like, do something better because you learn a lesson.
yeah,
So with AdSquire, again, like there if you're running an agency, there's gotta be a way that you run accounts. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And so again, like when I built AdSquire, that was something that was like important and I took into consideration. I trained the team on how I run accounts, and that's how we
yeah,
run accounts, everybody on the team. So like we're all aligned, we're all managing them the exact same way. And I think that's like another like really important lesson that I took away from one of these F ups was like
yeah.
there's gotta be a way that the agency does it. It can't just be kinda everybody wild, wild west doing what they want to account.
Yeah. Um, and it would be great if you could also even like speak on why it's important not to just be desperate for a job. Because as you said, in the next company, you then made it a lot clearer that, by the way, I'm not just going to be someone who's just a cog in the wheel. I'm going to be someone who's trying to do the best for my client. Like, we'll have targets. I'm going to try to meet those targets for my clients. Why is it very important? It's not just client agency relationship, it's also employee employer relationship that we tell them what we're about, in terms
Yeah,
of before the relationship starts.
right.
Yeah, what did that teach you about to how to communicate that?
Yeah, yeah, it's a great one. You know, a job has to work for both people, the employer and the employee, right? Like, if it doesn't, one of those parties is gonna be upset, like, and just unhappy and not living their best life. So again, like, the car dealership agency I was at, I did really great with the accounts, but again, like, I wasn't a fit for that organization.
Yeah,
Like, eventually, like, I knew it too. Like, there was a misalignment and I was just, like, not happy basically, and, like,
yeah,
going there and running through the motions because I just, like, wasn't the same as them. So I do think that's really important to, like, find somewhere where, like, you're valued, you can do what fits, like, with your beliefs and, like, morals, and kinda balance those 2 things, but again, like you said, like, I learned a lesson from that, and I took that to, like, my next interview to
mm,
speak up to that, like, off the bat. "Hey, I'm not this guy that's just gonna do fluffy reports and sit back. I'm the kinda guy that, like, points out problems and actively tries to solve them," and that was the right fit, and I
yeah,
had a great time at that organization, and it
fantastic.
really encouraged me to do that, and I kinda did similar things, and, like, there was things that were wrong, and I helped to improve them, and that was great, and then I built a team there, and I got to, kind of pass that down as like, "Hey, if there's something you see, speak up," and I think people
Yeah.
like that, they do, they like to solve problems and like point out things that are wrong. And I'm super open to that all the time. Like, hey, point out if something's wrong or like you see a friction point and I want to like see if we can align those things and move forward basically.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. I mean, those are two fantastic stories that you've shared with us, Anthony. Really grateful for that. And like before we do another tangent of to talking about mistakes that you've seen in our industry, which I'm sure you've come across a few, and especially more recently with our
Yeah.
blue boom of AI. What's like one piece of takeaway, like from those last two stories that you just shared, that you'd want to leave people with? Even if it's like one that can cover both or two that you'd like to share, that's absolutely fine.
Okay. Is make sure that, with your clients, you're protecting your clients,
Yeah.
but you can't be a broken record and say everything's a scam. So again, you kind of have to approach it from like understanding that it's not ill-intentioned. The client is sending you these things because they're interested in them because they want to propel their business. So they want to try different things.
Yeah.
So it's being that strategic partner, giving them kind of your point of view on things,
Yeah.
making sure kind of like, you are protecting them, but giving them options to expand because they
Mm-hmm.
all want to like a lot of them do want to expand and try things.
Absolutely.
But again, like, making sure that you speak up for the things that you strongly believe are scams, because again, the ones where it backfired was like when I was like, "Oh yeah, go do it," when I knew that like
It wasn't gonna work.
there was something bad in the past. And then the other one that I would say is, know who you are and know where
Mhm.
you fit in. And
Yeah.
if you don't, then leave. And I know that's really it's a hard one because
Yeah.
it's hard to get a job
Yeah.
sometimes, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But don't be somewhere where you're not happy and things aren't aligning. But at
Yeah.
the same time, like, if you are in a job, make sure you're kind of balancing things
Yeah.
and, like, don't be a rogue cowboy like I did. I'm not recommending it.
N
Even though, like, I even though, like, I would, like, again, it's like a morals thing. It's like, make sure
Yeah.
you're somewhere that aligns with your morals.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. Those are some great pieces of advice. Honestly, when you first told me the story and we were doing our, pre-recording, like, chat, I was like, actually, is that a but you did well, you did good by your client. You did the best
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
did. And
I
losing a
know.
job is not always the end of the world. Like you just
It
find
wasn't.
another
Again,
job.
like, I
So
always am effing up, and they've all led me to here, so, like,
yeah.
I'm gonna keep effing up, and I think, like, again, it's good to F up. It
Yeah.
propels you, it brings you to the next thing, and everybody Fs up, keep effing up, because the only reason I'm anywhere, like, any successful at all is because I effed up and I keep effing up.
You know what? I'm gonna do something different to what I thought I was gonna do because you're talking about that whole, you f ups happen, f up is what led you to here. I also like also touching on, how some teams feel that they can't because maybe of the culture that's in that company, or maybe because the managers just don't believe in mistakes. They're like, no, yeah, we've got to get everything right. Why is it actually important for leaders to communicate in the way you've just done? That F ups are going to happen, and so that they're prepared and know what the steps are to do.
Yeah, so important, and, I let our team members F up. I do, and, like, like I'll let him F up a little bit, and something like one of my clients and, like, mentors says all the time is he's like, "Let him F up," right? And he's like, I always say, like, "There's nothing you can F up enough that I can't un-F up."
Sure.
And so,
Okay.
like, that's what I like to do is, again, like, F ups happen, it's always gonna happen. So, like, let him F up, come in, un-F it up, and, like, make sure that they know the lesson, but, like,
Yeah.
that's it. Because again, like, our team members have messed up a lot too. It is important to like let people know that they can and like they're not going to lose their job over it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
unless it's like, again, where I would say that that's not true is if it's like an alignment thing, like somebody's dishonest. If you're
Sure.
honest and you own it,
Yes.
I'm never gonna like make that something like a fireable offense. If
Sure.
you're hiding something and like trying to scheme, then yeah, you're gone because like again, it's an alignment thing.
Yeah.
But I think it is really important for leaders to let people F up because that's the only way you learn is
Yeah.
like hard lessons like that you internalize, like you feel bad about a thing. Like
Yeah.
again, like I think like the difference between like really great PPC people is they care about every account that they touch and
Yeah.
like kind of treat it like their own. And so like when you do like mess something up in one of these accounts, it like hurts you a lot of times.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh man, like I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I let that one ad group run like when I should have stopped it 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Like, and again, like these things happen. There's a million pieces to PPC campaigns, but again,
Yeah.
like those aren't the end of the world. As long as it's
No.
not a misalignment, I'm being dishonest thing, then F up till the cows come home.
Nice. F up till the cows come home. That might be the title of this episode. Absolutely love it. But another, let's leaving our audiences with like, maybe interesting F-ups that you've seen out there as well, especially with the whole boom of AI. And, I feel that's the thing. AI has opened up fresh new mistakes that we didn't even think were possible before. And people
Yeah,
just don't think about it because they're just like, oh, I'll just AI this problem and all of it will
yeah.
just work out. What are the most like, regular, most recurrent like F-ups that you see other advertisers making when it comes to paid search of today and that you're just like, we should still not be doing this?
Sure. So like the biggest ones that I see consistently, like in audits and stuff, are the usual suspects, and like
Okay.
you know them. It's
Yeah.
like it's like search partners enabled, display.
Honestly, your
Right. Like,
settings.
yeah, like I hate those ones. Like advanced location settings is always one that like a
Yeah.
lot of people miss. Again, and they're like choices that are based on strategy and budget. So it's not always like a wrong thing. If you're a really big
Yeah.
budget and you want to have like in or interested in, that's
Yeah.
fine, right? It's all budget dependent, but those are like kind of the biggest usual suspects that I see.
Yeah.
In terms of I would
Yeah.
say those ones go like unnoticed a lot, to be honest with you.
Sure.
In my opinion, again, it's another settings thing with the
Yeah.
AI stuff. It's like the automated assets and auto apply recommendations, things like these are the big ones that like are silent killers because they're
Yeah.
changing a lot of stuff in your Google Ads account.
Yeah.
And they're so hidden, those two
Yeah.
settings, that
Yeah.
nobody knows where they are. So like
Yeah.
again, that's another big one with the AI error.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I haven't really seen a ton like direct, like AI related.
Okay.
I've started to see like, I guess like misleading images, but they're more like display ad stuff,
Sure.
which I feel a way about, but I'm not sure that they're necessarily like mistakes yet.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know how you feel about that.
My brain was even going to think about like even us asking like what's something that people do that people are genuinely paid search experts that you respect are implementing. What are strategies are people are implementing that you feel is a mistake? Because yeah, you're right. There's some things that people are implementing that they just don't realize is not the right way to do things, or maybe there's a reason that you've not seen that makes them do the kind of things. Are there any like, or is it just basically what you've just said, but that people are just
Yeah,
doing things that
yeah.
to you
I
don't make sense?
I mean, like expert wise, everybody's talking a lot about AI, but like I haven't seen anything like concrete or direct in terms of like what they're doing. Like I know a
Yeah,
lot of people are like asking ad copy suggestions and stuff
yeah,
like that,
yeah,
right?
exactly,
Like
and that's it.
I don't necessarily think that's bad per se either. Like it's what do the results say? Like is that
Right.
better than like you thinking up an ad or like, so again, like it's about performance to me, but I can't like notice or pinpoint anything besides like misleading images,
Yeah,
which are
yeah,
being encouraged, and I don't
yeah.
like that.
No,
But I
no,
don't know how I feel about it yet because like we're not doing it, and I don't know what like performance is on
is for
that
people.
side. But I feel like from like a being a consumer, if I bought something based on a picture and I got it and it didn't look anything like that, Like I'd be a
Be
PO
pissed off.
consumer, right? So I don't know. I think time will tell. It's still
Yeah.
like early days, so
Yeah.
I can't pinpoint anything exactly like that's necessarily wrong. Everybody's talking a lot about AI, but I can't like, I'm always looking at ads and like looking at the search.
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen anything like in a text ad or an RSA where I've been like, that's AI. You know what I mean? Like there's something
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
directly sticking out to me besides like Google's thing. I would say the other one like that I hate is like, and again, like it can be considered a mistake, is like what AI, in my opinion, what AI is being used for a lot on like the tech platform side is to like create inventory, like automated inventory. So
Mm,
like the video ads that are being generated like
yeah.
from like static assets, right?
Yeah.
Like put on YouTube. I don't like that. So I would say like maybe that's a mistake, like not turning that off if you can,
Sure. Yeah.
that campaign type. Because it's funny, I even see them like for really big brands now, like
Yeah.
Amazon and stuff,
Yeah.
right? I'll see like these generic, like made up PMAX ads, and I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Doing. Oof. You're like, guys, you should know better.
Right, it
Should
just
know better.
it's another, like, misalignment, so, like, I don't
Mm,
like it. That's I guess it could be considered a mistake, but
yeah.
also questionable. I don't know, it's weird. So,
Yeah.
like, we have a client where one of those was left on. He's a criminal lawyer, and he got a lead off of one of these weird generic YouTube ads, and I was like, but it's weird, like, it's not the norm, like, it was, like, a
Yeah.
weird, rare thing that
Yeah.
happened. Most of the time, it's a waste, but again, like, it's too early to tell, I think,
Too
in a
early
lot
to.
of these cases, yeah.
I was like, do we have time for this question? Read. I'm gonna throw it in since it's our first episode of this year. What's your prediction as to how much AI is going to be used this year?
Oh, it's so hard.
Sorry. I was like, should I be cheeky? Whatever comes to mind.
Yeah,
Like it
do you
doesn't have
mean,
to be
like
well thought
do you
out. Yeah.
do you mean, like, in Google Ads, like, just
Google Ads. Google
general?
Ads specific. Let's stick to how Google Ads. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a banger year for AI
Okay.
and Google Ads is my
And
prediction. There's gonna be a lot more stuff forced in. I think there's gonna be a lot that's deprecated this year and more like forced automated AI things. They're shoving the ads advisor thing into like everything now.
right.
And so I don't know. I still hate it, but I think it's a trend that's gonna continue for this year
Yes.
until kind of that bubble pops and they're like, "Okay, not AI," but
Right.
they're so hard into it. I can't see it going away in 2026.
Okay. Interesting. You've heard it here first. It's probably not gonna away. It's not gonna go away in 2026. And yeah, who knows for 2027 and when the bubble will pop. Thank you so much, Anthony. This has been such a great chat. I've enjoyed myself. But before we leave, and love a fun end of interview question.
Sure.
If your PPC career were a movie, what would the title be?
The Shawshank Redemption.
Interesting. Yeah, I love that movie. Some people say that that's an overrated movie, but clearly,
Wow, great movie, great movie.
why the Shawshank Redemption? I know the story, but like,
Again,
what's
just
the
feels like, I've messed up a lot throughout my career, but every mess up led to that next step, and I'm now literally living my dream. Like, all I've wanted to
nice?
do forever was own a business, and I'm obsessed with PPC. And again, like I've little by little, like pretty much accomplished all of my wildest dreams. I'm like a top PPC influencer guy, and
Hundred
again, like
percent.
it's just cool where your passions like align and
Yeah,
everything's like good. And so again, like the F ups led to redemptions and
yeah.
Shawshank Redemption. Yeah,
Fantastic. And can I say, what a wonderful view. It's been very distracting behind you. It,
I
it
know.
does look like your office is a dream office. Where are you specifically like right now?
We're right downtown in Center City, Philadelphia, and it's
Okay.
funny, like, the law firm I started working at, where kind of this all started, I can see from my window right here.
Wow,
Yeah, like
interesting. Full
10 steps
circle.
yeah, 10 steps from where it all began, yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for that, Anthony. And
Thank you.
I know you have also an answer for this one because I see you sharing so many fantastic your ideas and news and just things that you're seeing. Where can people find you on the different platforms? What are your platforms where
Absolutely.
you
Yeah. So
share?
anything on social media under Anthony Higman. And then they can also find us on AdSquire.
Yeah, but what social media platform specifically that you'd like
Yeah, yeah.
to?
So I'm biggest on Twitter is like probably
Nice.
my main platform. I'm on LinkedIn and on Facebook, but so it's not it's like Twitter, LinkedIn, like minimal Facebook is what I would say. And that's it. I don't
Amazing.
do TikTok yet
No,
or Instagram, but
but who
maybe
knows?
I don't know yet.
Maybe look out for that. We'll look out for you for that. This has been an amazing chat. Thank you so much, Anthony, for
Thank you for
joining
having
us
me,
today.
Anna.
Pleasure. Bye. Thank you so much, Anthony, for sharing that very visceral and transparent story, and sharing so honestly and transparently, and about getting fired, about being the kind of person who just breaks down and just decides to let their client go ahead and make the mistake, even though they know better. So yeah, and these kind of things happen, and sometimes our frustrations get the better of us, but it does not stop us from being the CEO of a company. So yeah, guys, look out for that and just remember that you can always come back from your mistake. You can always learn from it. And yeah, especially for managers, F-ups is where the best learnings come from. And there's no F-up that most managers wouldn't be able to turn around. So yeah, make sure that I hope that we are making sure that our teams are feeling like, even if they make a mistake, they can come back from it, they can grow from it. And you're not hiring the kind of people who are scheming behind you. Because yeah, that's the point where there's no return. So remember that for your future career. For all information and full transcript of that fantastic conversation, please go to podcast.ppc.live for the full details of that episode. Yes, another exciting time to tell you about what's going on for our PPC Live events. We've got another one coming up in just a few weeks now, just under a month on the 5th of February. We're going to be coming back, Strategy Q's office in Liverpool Street. They've got a fantastic, beautiful office where Dragon's Den was once filmed. So yeah, that's going to be quite a historical place to be. Also got, of course, historical speakers, even Kat Sell, who's a co-founder of House of Performance. Dave Alexander is part of the senior paid media strategist at award-winning Impression. And we've got Niels Rujman, who is Mr. Scripts himself. Mr. AdWords Scripts has been creating them for years, he's built a lifestyle where he literally works from everywhere in the world. We did a podcast with him. He was in the Caribbean, even though he has a boat in Amsterdam. And so, yeah, he moves around a lot because he sets his scripts and he only works maybe a few hours a day because his scripts are doing the hard work for him. So come and join us on the 5th of February so that he can share with you how he implements those scripts, his favorite e-com scripts, so that he doesn't have to do too much hands-on work. So yeah, we'd love to have you for that. Go to ppc.live to get your tickets. Before I leave you, I'm also delighted to share that I am taking on coaching clients, PPC mindset coaching clients. So yeah, if you just feel like you've got a block and this is the year that you want to invest in yourself, that you want to see a dramatic change in your career and the direction and just feel that it is going in the right direction for you, please get in touch with me. Go to themarketinganu.com to book a free discovery call with me so that we can discuss a plan that will work for you. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed that show, our first show of 2020. We've kicked the things off. We're going to be bringing many more fantastic guests, for 51 more guests, I hope, at least for the rest of the year, who will be sharing more of their F-ups. And our next one will be next week. And we've already got our guests lined up. So yeah, please join us next week for more PPC F-ups and triumphs. Thank you very much. Bye.